It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Just about set for football. Blake Grupe is ready to get us started.
And off we go from Seattle.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession.
Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come because they're blitzing to start this ball game, and it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Back to throw, Darnold. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Louisville.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. There's Chris Olave. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. On the counter, here's Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Pitch and catch to Moreau to tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 22-yard line. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They'll get this out to Kamara. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 5. Back to throw here. Olave over the middle. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Foster Moreau, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
The point after, good by Groupie. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Darnold now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Smith and Jigba in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
They go play action here on first down. He completes it to Olave. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Olave motioning to the left. Back to throw now on first down. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. from the 44-yard line. Here's second and a couple.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Olave motioning to the left.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And Shaheed going to go in motion.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
And they'll fake the jet sweep there and instead hand to Kamara.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Groupie for the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's 2nd and 10. Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Again, Darnold. He completes this to Walker. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Darnold. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, 46 yards. And the Seahawks are back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Gets this complete to Shaheed. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. That is caught. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Groupie able to add the PAT, and it's now 21-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Darnold. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A final shot before the break. Darnold. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He found the end zone twice, once on the ground and once in the passing game, as he proved he's anything but a one-dimensional running back.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Saints offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On play action, they'll throw. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 57 yards. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Here's Groupie for the PAT. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. It's a big play there for Seattle. 63 yards.
Just a breakdown there defensively. It looked like someone got their wires crossed because no one seemed to pick him up at all. He's running free, and there's not a quarterback in the league who's going to miss that throw. That's a huge play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 5, 2nd and 4. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Touchdown! Cooper Kupp from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their lead down from 21-14, but still sitting at a great spot, up 2 scores here in the third quarter. And Cooks has it over the middle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Back to throw now on first down. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 6. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Complete to Olave on the out route. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 8. Back to throw again. It's caught left side by Cooks. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here now, 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Touchdown, Saints. Foster Moreau, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Groupie for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Darnold now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Darnold going up top for Kupp. That's caught inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Saints offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. Back to throw here.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 15. They'll set up a throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on third down, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 15. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Reek Woolen on the coverage there defensively. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this returnable for Sims. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. He'll get that to Charbonnet.
Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold.
Noah Fant with a catch on the crossing route.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw, Darnold. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Cooper Kupp
from 10 yards out.
And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Now Myers for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Reek Woolen.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
After the interception, here's Darnold.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Darnold. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Darnold from the gun.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw is Darnold. Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
60 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on the play of the game now, 4th and goal. Here's a big one. It's 4th and goal. Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Cooper Kupp from 10 yards out. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. This crowd alive again. Some were headed for the exits, but a 4th quarter comeback has tied things up as the kick is away here. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This is 1st and 10. Kamara try the right side. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's 1st and goal.
Kamara. We'll get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture? That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. And the point after, good by Groupie. And they will take a 7-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Seahawks offense had Cooper Kupp making their way back out, and he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on a flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Here comes 2nd down. Darnold to throw. Gets this to Fant. And he's going to pick up a 1st down here as that clock continues to run. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
Now Darnold. And that one too wide and incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last throw now for Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Walker. And he is going to be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to be the final play of this football game. Well, they came so close, Charles. They were knocking on the door in a one-possession game, but ultimately the defense held tough to get the victory.
And doesn't it feel like it just leaves them asking what could have been? So many moments when they could have had a big play to change the outcome of this game, and let's face it, none bigger than that final snap that just fell short.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.